Since being pregnant, I've never been so attached to my Coregeous ball, and I've been using it for many different purposes. So today I wanted to show you 10 ways that I'm using my Coregeous ball during my pregnancy to keep myself pain-free and comfortable. If you are pregnant and new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and press the bell button below so you don't miss any of my pelvic health tips for an empowering birth experience. If you're not familiar with the Coregeous ball, it's basically just kind of a soft inflatable ball that was designed by Yoga Tune-Up, and it has a grippy surface which makes it super interesting for massage and fascia work, but also for positioning purposes because it will never slip away from you. So I like that it's very easy to inflate and deflate, and it's easy to carry around and travel with. So the first way that I'm using my Coregeous ball on a daily basis is in bed. So I'm using it as a belly support, and I'm just gonna show you how I do that. So I normally put very little air in there, I'd say like 10%. And then I just put it under my belly bump, like so. And it's really nice just to not have the belly pulling your back forward every time you lie down. The second way is using it over my hip during the night. So it all depends how I feel. Sometimes I feel like I need that hip support. So I've talked about hip pain during pregnancy at night and the different ways you can position your body to deal with that. And one of the strategies in that video, which I will link in the description below, was to put a prop over your hip bone. So you see that curve here? We want to fill that space. So having the Coregeous ball just over the hip bone can fulfill that need. And again, it's nice because it's super comfortable, soft, and it doesn't roll away from you as you're sleeping. Number 3 is for pelvic floor release work. So I've inflated my Coregeous ball to 50% here, and I'm sitting on a harder seat versus on the sofa. And I'm just gonna sit on my Coregeous ball. So I place it in between my two sits bones and just in front of my tailbone and just behind my vagina. So in between the tailbone and the vaginal opening. It might go over a little bit, and that's fine. And here I'm just focusing on breathing and letting go of the tensions in my pelvic floor. I can feel a bit of tightness there. And so I just want to melt my pelvic floor onto the ball. And if that feels good, I can even do a little bit of rotations with my body in one direction and the other. And this is something you can integrate in your workday. If you have a sitting work, you can just keep your Coregeous ball on your desk. And whenever you want to practice this, you can just sit on the ball for a few minutes, which will already work at releasing tensions in the pelvic floor, or just make it to like 3 minutes where you're moving around also. Number 4 is using your Coregeous ball for back support in sitting position. I normally deflate it quite a bit for this. I would say 25%. And then you can put it in your lower back. That feels so nice. Just to keep that kind of lumbar curve, I could actually inflate it a little more just because that chair already has a curve. If it was a straight seat, it would be different. Yeah, that feels better. And this part of my back is not in support, but I just feel like it gives me a nice little prop here to maintain proper posture. And there's nothing that restricts me from, moving it a little higher up at some point. You can put it anywhere you want, really. And you can use it in your car if you're going for a long drive, to just change the position instead of always be here, right? Like you can just kind of either you change the inflation of it or change the position. And I actually used this on my last flight to Mexico. It was a 7-hour flight, and I had my Coregeous ball in my bag, and I used it the whole time. Like sometimes I was even on the side, you know, kind of sleeping here and putting it in like over my hip. I've used it as a pillow at some point. So I never go traveling without my Coregeous ball. If you are like most people in life, you probably have tight glutes and tight butt muscles. And the Coregeous ball is actually a great tool to massage your glutes. So in pregnancy, you can simply go against the wall, put the ball against your glutes and just press with your feet. So my feet are quite far away from the wall right now. I'd say like 2 feet off the wall. And I mean, you could do that also on the floor if you are in your first or second trimester and it feels okay for you to be on your back. But in the third trimester, for myself, I know that I'm starting to feel a bit out of breath when I'm lying right on my back. So that's why I prefer to do it on the wall here. Another way that I like to use the Coregeous ball is for sacrum pressure. So just putting the ball right over your butt crack on the sacrum bone here. So the sacrum bone is a triangular bone that is just over your butt crack. Just hanging out here with the ball directly on your sacrum. And I tell you, in labor, this is so great having pressure there. You can control the amount of pressure by pushing on your feet. And that feels just really lovely. You are welcome to do a little bit of back and forth, you know, up and down by bending your knees or even side to side. This in labor, you should really consider it because a lot of people find relief with that. I mean, your partner can also apply pressure on your sacrum, but sometimes you just want to be in your own bubble, right? And don't be touched. And this is a great way to do that. And again, if you were okay lying on your back, you could definitely have it right on your sacrum and lying flat on your back, or not flat, but with your knees bent. I really like that standing version, feels so good. You can also use your Coregeous ball for rib cage release. I don't know for you, but for me, my rib cage has been really sore, especially I would say end of second, beginning of third trimester. And it is because baby is pushing on the rib cage and, you know, it just feels sore in general. So what you can do is put your Coregeous ball just around the bra line on your rib cage. And I would say it's inflated about between 25 and 50% right now. And then, that feels so nice to have pressure there. And then you can just take a big breath into your rib cage. Push into the Coregeous ball with that movement and then hold your breath for 3 seconds and then exhale and let the Coregeous ball push into your ribs. Just to mobilize your rib cage a little bit. So let's do that again. Inhale. Hold. And then release. The other way I like to use my Coregeous ball is as a chest opener. And of course you would only do this one if you were okay lying on your back, and I'm fine for a little bit, so I'm just gonna demonstrate here. But you just want to put the ball in between your shoulder blades, and then you can that feels so nice. And just getting that like back extension as well, right? So I don't know if you can see where my ball is here, but we are so often just, you know, crunch forward, just always in that flex position. And I mean, for postpartum, this is great as well because you'll be holding your baby a lot and always in that posture. So just staying for a few minutes with this position. And if it feels good, you can even like just move from side to side. Now the next technique is a fascia release technique for the back. It is so lovely, and it really takes the coregeous ball in order for it to work, because we need that grip. So you're gonna need to be directly on the floor for this, because if you're on a yoga mat or even on a rug, the ball will start slipping, and we really need the grip from a hard floor. And you're going to need to be directly on your skin as well. So I'm just going to put it directly in my lower back. It doesn't matter really at what level you are. You can do this technique, you know, a little lower, then a little higher up. There's no rule, and it feels so good whichever place you put it on. But you're gonna understand the concept here. So what I'm gonna do is start moving my feet, and almost as if I'm the needles of a clock, right? So I'm just rotating until I feel like there's a good pull here. Yeah, right here is probably the max that I can twist, and then I can't continue on here because my fascias are being pulled by the ball. Oh, that feels so nice. And then here, what you do is just breathe. So you can take a few breaths in this position. Once you've done this direction, you can start moving in the other direction. So if you started clockwise, go counterclockwise and vice versa. And again, same concept. You want to go all the way until you can't, and you feel like that resistance in your back right here for me. And last but not least, I love using the coregeous ball as a bum support in the deep squat position. So I normally put a yoga block and then the coregeous ball over top. And it's just so much nicer than having two hard blocks, you know, stacked on top of each other. It allows my pelvic floor to relax a bit more. And I'm planning on having this set up here when I go to the hospital for labor, because I find that the squatting position is so great, but it is exhausting on your legs, right? To be like, if you think of laboring in this position, like your hips, your knees are gonna be sore after a few minutes. So having a nice, comfortable support can make a world of a difference in terms of how long you can stay in that position and stay comfortable. So all of that to say, this can be used, you know, in your day-to-day as just a pelvic floor stretch and adding a bit of almost like massage from your coregeous ball, but also it can be used in labor just to support yourself a little bit more and last longer in this position. Now, if you have not grabbed my free prenatal book to prepare your pelvic floor for an empowering birth, make sure you download it in the description below before you go. Thanks for watching.